Hello, everyone. My name is Atoya once again, and we're going to continue on with the lessons and discussions that we're talking about in Media Society here at North Carolina Central. And today we're going to be talking about, we're discussing Chapter 5. Chapter 5, Media and Ideology, is basically, to sum it all up, they're trying to see or prove that the ideology of our society is not reflected in television shows. And I'm going to kind of rebuttal that with the data that they shared in the book as well as what we see on TV today. Just for a reminder, ideology is the system of meaning that helps define and explain the world and makes value judgments about the world. For instance, they in the book they gave some broad descriptions like worldviews, belief systems, and values, but yet present they yet present a distorted version of the world. Yesterday in class, our Dr. Robinson, he gave us, an analogy like what we think of a woman that can deadlift 315 pounds, and everyone said that she would probably be muscular and she probably look mannish a little bit, but that's not true. Like I was saying, that's not true. It's all distorted information that we have learned over the years, and this is called what we just did by kind of stereotyping a person that is able to deadlift, like put weights over their head, to be strong or whatever. That is called construction of reality. Construction of reality. And that's just basically saying, we have learned this kind of thought process from either our parents, our learning environment, what we see on television. Is all influenced by things around us, because we come into this world. One philosopher called it a tabula rasa, meaning a blank slate. We don't come in this world knowing anything. We have to learn by things and people around us so that we can formulate concepts and make connections about everything. Well, we had Pamela Salisbury to come in, and she was talking about, she first started off by encouraging us that if we do not know what we want to do right now, that is fine. Nobody needs to rush us on what we want to do in life, because a lot of people are unsure, and it's okay to be sure. She talked about how she went into one thing, and then as she really got into the clinical side of it, she knew it wasn't for her. So she just told us to take our time, be patient. She touched on a few questions about the credibility of a reporter. A few of the students in our class, Mr. Robinson's class in Media Society, had asked her a few questions that Mr. Robinson had asked us to see what would we do in a case where we had a particular sponsor get busted for doing having harmful drugs out in the market. How would we approach that? And she and Miss Pamela and Mr. Chambers, another professor at our school in the mass communications department, said that they have to do the story, that they have to do their job, they have to protect the credibility of them and the business, regardless if they sponsor them or not. Now, a lot of times they give a substantial amount of money, and if they want to walk, that's on them. But in the end, he was saying that they need us. They need the television, news reporting, if they want any kind of business or advertisement for their business later on. They're gonna need them. So it doesn't really typically fall that way. They just have to report what it is because it's public. Everyone's seeing it. WRL, whether it's the WNC, have to report it. Whether it's WRL, TV news, or what have you. She touched bases on the Cocaine Cowboys. She is from Gainesville, Florida, and she worked in Miami, and she said that she remember that when there was a lot of things going on in Miami, and but she didn't really touch too many bases on it, but she does remember what it is we were talking about in class. We went on a field trip to UNC TV, and I had a good time. We went Wednesday, and we spoke with Miss Deborah Noel, who is, I believe she's the director at UNC TV. She's very good friends with Dr. Chambers, who is also we went to UNC TV Wednesday to learn about how UNC TV operates. I watch UNC TV all the time with my kids. We like to watch the cartoons, which are very educational and informative about the world around us. We also learned that there are 12 satellites around the North Carolina state, and we also had some they call it translators, which help the satellites that's around North Carolina to read the satellites that so the guy told us that they have 12 satellites around, and that the translators read the satellites and put them in different houses. Like, they translate what's on the satellite and help everyone get the network at the same time. There's a few of those in the middle of the satellites. We get most of our sponsors. The sponsors mostly come from Virginia, and they help support and keep UNC TV on the air. I learned some of the positions that people do at UNC TV from the lady that named Heather that helps the set, to the guy that does the audio, all the way to the actual stage. What I didn't know and that I was enlightened about was ratings. I thought that ratings help the TV show. And it does, to a certain extent, helps the TV show, as opposed to, them getting money because people are viewing it. They get money when it comes to ratings, because if someone has an idea of a show and want to present that show, then they they can introduce a television idea or whatever, and say that so many people watch this show, can I do my advertising at this time, because a lot of people watch this show at this particular time. So that's what the rating information is about. I also learned that the viewers can be contributors to keep the show on too. A lot of funds come from the government. However, a bulk of it is donated from the audience to give to the TV show for them to stay on. And I kind of knew that, but it was good that I was confirmed by Miss Noel at UNC TV. It seems like a pretty exciting set that they have. They do a lot of construction on the sets for different shows, and all the shows are right there, and it was pretty cool.